guys, it's Steven from the Legit PC, and welcome to another one of my game reviews for the free week for Epic Game Store. This week, today is the 17th, 9/17. Wait, sorry, it's supposed to be 8/17. Yeah, so it's 8/17/19. This week is the game that is available, and it is available till tomorrow. You can see here it's September from now till September 19th, which is Thursday. Today is Tuesday night. So this game is from a company called Zoetrope Interactive, and I've discovered they are now Stormling Studios, and I will discuss that later. It was June 06, 2017. Is a puzzle / indie game. It's made in Unreal Engine 4, and it is very, very cool. I actually really enjoy. Ooh, I've been here. Interesting. I actually really enjoy playing it, and I've looked forward to playing it every day since I got it, and we're going to talk more about it. Unfortunately, that being said, I have been unable to play it as much as I would have liked to, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it. So normally this game is $20, but obviously for this until Thursday it is free. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'll show you guys more, but kind of the premise, I'm not going to show too much gameplay, because obviously it's a exploration game / puzzle game. So I don't want to go too much into the story because I want you guys to explore that yourself. And I'm going to say right now, obviously I highly recommend that you get it. I'm not a big adventure game, but it does kind of give me BioShock Infinite vibes. Obviously it's not, as far as I know, it's not really like a action, so there's no fighting as far as what I've seen so far, so there's none of that, so it's not like BioShock in that case. But basically the storyline up to this point, I haven't played too much, because actually I've been so swamped with work. I've only able to play about an hour in. I'm not exactly sure how long the gameplay is, how long the story is, because obviously there's just story, there's no multiplayer, there's nothing like that. So I don't know exactly how long it is, but again, I haven't been able to play it as much as I would have liked to, and I think that's really the point, is that I would have liked to play more, but I was unable to.
It's stuck.
That really says something, and you can see it's absolutely gorgeous game. The lighting, and this is they call it a torch flashlight. The kind of cinematic experience with, the acceleration of the body. You see the flashlight trails around my cursor because the guy's going to turn. Looking for trophies, collectibles, the storyline itself, and overall it's a very cool game. So let's talk a little bit about the story and see if it's kind of something that you would be interested in. So as far as my understanding up to this point, pretty much what it is you wake up in front of this device that is they call it the Conarium, it's almost like kind of like a trip, I guess you'd say, where it's a thing that you experience. You sit down with some people and you experience it with a collection of people, and the game takes place in the mid 20th century, so I think it was 1945, 1950, something like that. So a lot of this stuff is classic stuff, and you are in Antarctica, and it's a expedition by this company UPOT, right? And basically what they're studying is they found a lot of these classic, almost alien-like structures, and you can see them kind of they're like these beings, kind of. Let me see. Here we go. So these are some of the collectibles and stuff. Let me see. Oh, I think it's in my trophies here. So we can show that at the end. So basically, there's these beings that they found deep underground in the Antarctic, and they are looking to figure out why they are there and what role that they play, pretty much. So that's basically what they're trying to figure out, is what can they learn from these guys, and that's where they came up with the Conarium. So when you wake up and there's nobody around, and I've yet into the game found anybody, and you're suffering from these hallucinations, and you're going in here, and your guy can't really remember much. He does kind of talk and kind of annotate through some of this stuff, but your guy can't remember how he ended up there. He doesn't know where everybody is. When you go look around, you find some of your crew's lockers, but their jackets are in there. Their only jackets are in there, and you're in Antarctica, so if they are outside, they went outside without their jacket. So yeah, so you wake up in a room alone, you start having hallucinations, you cannot find anybody, you do not remember most of this stuff. Your guy barely remembers his name, but does not know how he got there and what is next and where to find his crew and what
Looks like something's missing here.
And yeah, so pretty cool. One of the issues that I did have with the game is that pretty much lack of hints, I believe. So actually at this point I've gotten stuck on how to proceed forward to do what's next. But for the first hour or so I didn't have any issues going forward. I loved going around and going inside of the base, which I'll show you, the Antarctic base. Oh. Going inside the Antarctic base and looking around through each of the buildings and learning about the crew and learning about your character, because your character also has a room in the main building. So learning about him, learning about kind of what's going on. Also, you know, what to do next, and try to figure out what they're doing in Antarctic, what they're doing in the Arctic, in Antarctica, looking for these beings, and what they are learning from these guys, and what they plan on doing with it, and what that contraption is in that main room.
Locked.
So we're back in the base up on the ground floor, and again, so I barely scratched the surface. If you saw some of those images on their page, I have not even got to that area. It looks like it opens up to another big area, and this is one of the games that, as far up to this point, you know, I kind of lost a little bit of immersion because I got stuck there, and I really need to continue playing. They have these really nice little pieces that are laying around that you can pick up and read different stuff and learn about the crew and what the crew thinks about some of the findings. Find journal entries and keys to different stuff, and it is extremely scary with it. Obviously I'm not scared here because I already heard
It's stuck.
well, I've already gone through this point. As far as I know, it's pretty linear gameplay style, but when the hallucinations show up and the soundtrack gets a hold of you, and it's amazing soundtrack. Amazing soundtrack in the game. Great job to the developers for that. And so, for example, here's the crew. So your guy's name is. crew room, and then this is like the leadership room. Oh, James Barlow.
Locked.
Wait. Oh, Frank. That's his name.
Did
Frank
I
Hill.
lock my door?
So that's your
I
character's
don't
name.
remember where my keys are.
Yeah, so he's like, he can't remember what he did with his keys before going into the Conarium trip, I guess you could say. And so, really, really eerie game, and I do look forward to, even after the end of this free week, I do plan on continuing to play it and play it through, because this is a very good example of how, with great quality and great attention to detail, you know, here's got like children photos of the crew. With great attention to detail, you can make an amazing game with, I'm going to assume, a smaller group of developers, but great modeling, great soundtrack. As far as I can tell to this point, great story, and very, very creative story too, which is really, really nice. It's not like a derivative of something, which is very nice to see. So, I do highly suggest that you check it out, and we're going to actually go further into it and talk about, here I'm going to go outside into basically Antarctica. I do highly suggest that you check it out, and this is probably the first game that I've looked at that I believe might even be worth the suggestion of retail price, the $20 is currently at. I would suggest the $20 if you want to support the developer. I'm going to show you there. Because I like this game, I like this developer, I'm going to show you one of their future projects that they are working on under their new name, and show you guys that. So, I think it's a very, very cool game if you're a fan of puzzle. It does have some puzzles involved, and as well as a big, obviously, adventure style, like exploring the world in a story-driven base, exploration game, and also slightly horror. When I first came out here, I was super scared that something was going to happen. I mean, I still don't know yet, because the entire crew is gone, so half of the crew, compromise was the deal. So, I'll continue playing this game and enjoying this game. Hopefully there are some walkthroughs, and I'll show you guys why I highly believe that there will be walkthroughs on this game, so I can kind of get myself unstuck in that area. I wish that they had like a hint section where it would like say, oh, all these arrows in the next one, so after like 15 minutes of walking around and knowing what to do, it'll help you out there. 15 minutes of not picking up anything, being around the same area that doesn't really have any doors or whatever to kind of help you proceed to the next area, that would have been nice. But yeah, I'll figure it out, or if I don't, if I spend there 10 minutes, I'll figure it out. I'll look at a walkthrough and proceed. So as of right now, it does not seem like there is any option. Alright, so yeah, I didn't want to show too much because I don't want to go into intricate parts of the story. I just wanted to give you some kind of brief background, and I'm going to show you some of the trophies, which are basically some of the collectibles that I found up to this point. That kind of explain a little bit more of a taste of the storyline, but I think I kind of went into it enough that I can keep my interest. So, let's go ahead and exit back to the main menu, and also I'll show you some of the options. I have everything maxed out. Game is playing amazing. So options, video settings, everything is on. Yeah, as far basically as high as it could go. Pretty much very high. Motion blur on, vertical sync off, and obviously no tearing, no issues with that. It has some very simple game controls. Interact, toggle modes, run, crouch, pause, these are like different things that they've found in the world, and they're trying to figure out what they are. Right. And so basically this whole expedition, and also they have found other things like ancient plants and other things that have never been discovered elsewhere except for here in the Antarctica, in the Arctic, in Antarctica, below the surface. And they see like these statues and that kind of stuff, and like old ancient tunnels and stuff. You know, that was like underwater. So who carved it? Why did they carve it? What did it take? Why was it there? All that stuff. Super interesting, and I can't wait to figure out all that stuff about it. So let's go ahead, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to bring up this here, and then I'm going to cancel. Oh, I guess it's pretty much silenced anyways, but I'm gonna drop out of the game just so it doesn't pick the wrong screen or something somehow. So these, again, the game's by Zoetrope Interactive, and they made 3 games. So they did Conarium, obviously, in 2017, and then they're working on a new game called Transcend, which was it's basically it's now called Transient. I believe the project is now called Transient. And then they have this Darkness Darkness Within series is also something that they worked on. So here, this is, it's also on Steam, so you don't have to get it on Epic Games Store. Obviously, it's free, so you might want to do that. But it has a very positive last 30 days. It has 90%, and it has 10 reviews in the last 30 days. And here, 853 people have reviewed it. And it has some won some rewards. Whatever. So yeah, that's another thing. I guess it's a lot of their stuff is based on this this artist. It consists of 3 members. These 3 guys. Now it's based on the work of this Lovecraftian atmosphere. I don't know what that is, but it's saying here that it's by a writer called H.P. Lovecraft. Not familiar with their work, but basically all of their games that they've worked on are pretty much interpretations of his work, his or her work. Let's see here if I could figure that out. Okay, so, oops. So 1890 to 1937 was an American writer of weird fiction, horror fiction. Interesting. So here's that one that they're talking about, at Mountains of Madness, which I guess now is called Transient. Yeah, so very interesting. It says Lovecraftian horror. So I guess he kind of like sparked a whole movement on some sort of weird horror type stuff. So very, very interesting that it's basically like his own brand. So the themes between the games are probably going to be very similar. So let's talk a little bit about And so here, let's go through some of the images. And it's published by Iceberg. So you can go ahead and check out the trailer, a minute 30. So here's one of the devices here. That's the device, but that's not where you. Is that where you wake up? Oh yeah, that is. That is where you wake up. And then also you saw that he has this device around his hand that he doesn't know what it does. There was one of the glitches. Here's like further on in the game. I haven't got to that point. So very interesting and obviously crazy environments. Like, whoa, look at that. That's massive. Is that underground? I got to that part. Haven't got to that part. And here's one of his equipped. Haven't got to that part. Went through there. That's radio room. Super interesting. So, give me 1 second. I think my cat wants to get in, and we will kind of finish up. We will kind of finish up this review here, and obviously give you guys plenty of time to catch the game on the free weekend. So again, very positive on Steam. People have given it good reviews, except for this guy doesn't like the depth of the yeah. I don't want to spoil it too much, but most people think it's very good. So go ahead and check it out. You can check it out on Steam and look for reviews, because basically on Epic Game Store, as far as I know, there's no reviews. So if you want, check out the reviews on Steam. It's not a Epic Game Store exclusive. It actually came out before the Epic Game Store. So before the Epic Game Store was around. Now let's show kind of their next game, which is called Transient. So it did right there, said Conarium. You can see kind of similar art style. Great soundtrack again, and it's supposed to be the same Lovecraftian horror / action based, I guess. In 2020, announced in 2020. Steam, and from their new name, instead of Zoetrope Interactive, it's Stormling Studios. So I don't know if they have more people in their team, but they have a way different website now, right? Let's see if they have more team. Looks like the same guys, same 3 guys. So it looks like they basically release about a game every 3 years. They also have their other games that you could check out. Darkness Within, In Pursuit of Nolder. Again, a Lovecraftian as well, but looks very, very similar. So they all kind of have the same style, but I'm sure different stories. So that's also something as well to check out. So let's see if we could look that up. And we'll just look up this one. And see what that has. Yeah. Darkness Within 1, Darkness Within 2. Mostly positive, another 80%. This guy was what, 90? Yeah, 90%. So this might be one of the games, the first game that we've seen upon starting this series that I believe is worth the entry fee there. Now, obviously, if you find it cheaper, it's definitely a buy. I think that if you want to support this developer and you like this style and you enjoy this style of game, this genre, which is indie horror adventure puzzle games, then definitely support this developer, because they're one of the few guys that are still doing it, because obviously not as commercially successful as a multiplayer game, so it really takes some cojones now to do a single player game. because not everybody could do it like what was it, Irrational Games and their Bioshock series and stuff like that. So yeah, so if you like this style, the Lovecraftian horror, and you're looking forward to getting their new game Transient when it comes out in 2020, then I would definitely suggest that you support the game and pay full price for it. If not, check it out on the Epic Game Store. If you're checking this out after, I don't think you should feel embarrassed to pay the $20. I think you'll get plenty of game time out of it, and I think you'll enjoy it as far as what I've seen so far. All right, thank you so much for staying with me here. This is coming on. You should have it by here Wednesday your time, so you should be able to look into it and see this video before the time runs out, and be able to get the game for the before the next free weekend comes up. Now, next free weekend seems to be some sort of Batman game of some type. You can see here some sort of Batman game. Might be one I already played, so if that's the case, I might play one of the other previous free weeks that I haven't played yet. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching my review of Conarium. I highly suggest it. It's super cool. If I were to develop a single player adventure game, it would kind of be in this kind of style, with this kind of genre of kind of exploration. It's very similar to like Bioshock Infinite, I guess you could say. Obviously more horror aspect, kind of also like a Lost Planet type stuff. So obviously both are first person shooters, but yeah. This is not one of those, but still, I really do enjoy the venture aspect of it. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.